Hello and welcome to Chair with James. And this week 2 breakdown and review of Raider football as it was the opening of Allegiant Stadium without fans, sadly. There were fans outside, which I was happily surprised, but um, and then we're also going to do a week 3 preview in Foxboro. Of course, you know me, you know our nation. We hate New England, so let's get this started. Week 2, Monday Night Football, the opening of Allegiant Stadium. Game was on against the Saints, and it was on a lot of networks of ESPN, I think 4. It was on ABC, actually. I watched it on there just because of old times. When you think of Monday Night Football, you think of it being on ABC, but it hasn't been since, 2005. But anyway, so that felt good. And then the Raiders being the team of Monday Night Football in the history, I think that was awesome to see. Again, for such a big opening night like this, it had some great memories for sure. Especially with the way the game went, at least in the second half. But in the first half against the Saints, they couldn't stop Kamara for New Orleans. He was running wild. He was catching screen passes, getting handoffs, getting big gains all over the place. Just a sore sight to see for sure. Quickly they got the lead, but Raiders started to score after a bad opening drive, and finally got other people involved with offense. Jacobs got his definitely, and then Carr started to look for Waller, looking for Ruggs and Renfro. That was fun to see. Ended up being 17-17 at the half. I thought the Saints would have scored more, just how poor the Raiders' defense was. Then the second half came, and I was pleasantly surprised. Gunther, the defensive coordinator, made such a good job adjusting to what the Saints were doing on offense. I mean, Kamara still got his, no doubt about it, but the stops on third down that the Raiders were getting on the Saints was just great. Knocking balls down, getting a pick late, stopping Brees. He was just checking down everything. He had nothing deep offensively. And that was just wonderful to see. I had such a good time watching that. And then offensively, you had Jacobs running, you had Ingold running, you had the passing game going with Waller. He was so key in this game. And Derek Carr, with all the scrutiny, with all the downgrade, and all the criticism, he really balled out. And it was great to see. And the Raiders end up taking the lead and never looking back. An important field goal late in the fourth by Daniel Carlson from, I think it was 58 yards out, 56 maybe, to make it a 10-point game, and ended up being the final score, 34-24 over the Saints. Just a lot of things went the Raider way in the second half. The penalties, which I was surprised. The Raiders only had 3 and the Saints had 10, and costly ones too. So as we know, there's a thing with the Raiders, and it's flags, but not this year. Not so far after 2 games at least. They've been doing a great job of cutting down any penalties. Always been known to have, offensive holding or false starts, anything like that. So far, so good. But you had to outscore your opponent, which is fine. But the defense could get stops like they did. The world can be theirs if they can continually get stops like this at key times, for sure, too. And the schedule's brutal coming up. But on to week 3. and it's in Foxboro. It's one of those 10 a.m. games if you're out here, of course, in California and Nevada. Uh, they go to New England to play the Patriots, and Cam Newton definitely showed what he can do. There's a lot of people that just did not want him, and I was one of them, because I didn't know which Cam would show up. Is his focus on football? Could he work in another system? Is he done? Well, he's shown that he could do anything he wants to, as long as he has an offensive line, as long as he has help. And he has that with the Patriots so far after 2 games. Granted, they have a 1-1 record. The Raiders at 2-0. With Cam Newton, he's making things happen, and they have a running game with Cam Newton. That's the main focus for the Raiders to win this game. You can't let Cam Newton get all these yards running. You have to keep him in the pocket and make sure he's not get away. And then the direct snaps to Cam Newton and stopping the place on short yardage. I think that will be definitely the key to the Raider defense making it happen. And we know the Raiders have had a hard time defensively so far. So I just hope for the best. Again, hope for these key 3rd down, 4th down stops. 3rd and short, 4th and inches, whatever it may be. And then key deflections on passes to Edelman. That's all you can hope for. To keep the Raiders in the game on the road like this. For the offense, for the Raiders, just do what you did basically against the Panthers and the Saints. But there is an issue. Henry Ruggs III will not be suiting up for Sunday's game. He's out. So that's just unfortunate. But the next man up mentality has to be there with Edwards, with Renfro, who made some clutch catches late in Monday night's game. Jones getting the ball to Jacobs and Waller and Marneau and Witten. Those are all things that has to happen. Derek Carr, again, it's all on him. It's all on him spreading the ball out, running, passing, making things happen. Sometimes with his feet, too. Sure. Anything that can make it happen, they got to do. So it would be interesting. The Patriots defense, even though they've been in games, they've given up a lot of points. Especially week 2, but not necessarily week 1, just 11. But with that being said, they had a big turnover of players missing for this season on defense. I just read David Andrews will be out for him, one of their key guards on the offensive line. So with the Raider defense, man, they couldn't get to Brees at all. There was no pass rush, no nothing. I would love to see Cam Newton get stuck in the pocket and have Crosby, have Key, have Jordan get in there. And then the unfortunate thing I've been reading about is Corey Littleton. Well, I was so looking forward to see how he would do with the free agency pickup. He's been slated as one of the worst players defensively in the league, just based on ratings and all those stats. And that's unfortunate to hear. But hopefully he can make an impact with his speed, making things happen. But we'll see. Gurkowski's out too, the other linebacker that they picked up. So that'd be tough to overcome. But if you could do it to the Saints, even without Thomas, what will you do against the Patriot offense with Cam Newton? That's what I'm willing to look at, and that's why there's a little hope there. There's a little hope that, hey, they could do this, but they got to stop them. So that's a big loss, of course. Jacobs and Waller is practicing, and they've already flown out to the New England area, so we'll see what happens. But again, without David Andrews on the offensive line, it's a hope that the Raiders can get in there and, again, stop Cam Newton, stop his rushing, and take anything what the Seahawks did late in that game, especially on the last play, to stop Cam Newton. Hopefully the Raiders can do that if everything goes well. Give me the Raiders winning, most likely by, like a field goal or something, probably like, or a little bit more, 27-23. Something where it'll be a win that was hard fought, but hopefully seeing the Raiders go 3-0, because it doesn't get any easier after this. So we'll see what happens. Again, I think 27-23 Las Vegas Raiders will win over the New England Patriots, and should be nerve-wracking, but hopefully an injury-free game, at least not a bad injury, little nicks and bruises, but nothing severe. So we saw a lot of that in week 2, with the injuries. But a hard-fought win I'm hoping for, and we'll see what happens, because these aren't the same Patriots we know without Brady and Gronk, but Edelman's still there, and Cam's trying to, put an imprint into his mark with being the Patriots. Maybe it's just for 1 year or so, but we'll see what happens for sure. So that's all I got out there. So if you like what you've heard, I don't know if you like what you've seen, this is all I am. Please like and subscribe and follow, and check out the chair here with James. I do all these videos on football, and then I do food reviews. I'll do anything, well, almost anything on here. And shout out to the Grinds with Todd and Matt. They have a great show every Wednesday, and they also have their football picks and all that. Seahawker, new channel with Todd. He is Seahawks, 2-0 as well. And I've been studying film on them because of this Patriot game coming up. So there's so much we got into, and hopefully the Raiders can get into a victory on Sunday against the Patriots. And we'll catch up with you next week on the Chair Raider preview with James, and we'll see you next week. Later. Stay safe.